Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Tuesday. Today, I wanted to discuss Chanel earrings and are they worth it? I asked you guys last week on Minx Monday Q&A, and I also have had a few messages on Instagram if I can talk about these. These are, of course, the Chanel costume jewelry line, as they do have fine jewelry as well. But I thought I would give you guys my 2 cents on them and what my thoughts are. And that way, if you're thinking about adding them to your collection, or maybe if you don't know if this is a wise type of investment to do for your collection, then I thought I would give you guys just kind of some things that I have run into, and that way you can, assess to see whether or not they are for you. All right, so let's get started. When it comes to Chanel earrings, once you get one pair, you are hooked. I'm not even going to lie. It just starts this whole other obsession, kind of like with handbags. You just want to add more and more to your collection. My collection started with this pair right here that was a gift from my hubby, and then it grew to this. Of course, some of these are also gifts, but it just started this cycle, and every time I go into the boutique, I always ask to see the earrings because I'm just a huge fan of them. And something about the Chanel earrings is that they have so many different sizes, they have so many different designs, they have so many different details that you can choose from. And, if you want to go for something a little bit more subtle and classy, or if you want to go for something a little bit more simple or gaudy, they really cater to any type of lifestyle or any type of look that you're going for. So here I have 7 pairs. Like I said, some of these were gifts, and some of these you guys have seen that I have unboxed on my channel throughout the years. But let me see if I could bring them up as close as possible without kind of whiting out the camera. There we go. They're all, they're all fairly different. Most of them are studs, as those are the type of earrings that I tend to wear the most, kind of like the ones that I'm wearing right now that were a gift from a very sweet Sebby. But, I like them. I like the small ones. I like the big ones. I like them all. Like I said, you cannot just stop with one. However, as wonderful as they are, as beautiful as they are, they do have, some things that I just want to discuss. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video. I know it, but I told you guys in the beginning, I'm going to be very honest with you. And that way I can give you, my opinions, my 2 cents. And that way you can make the decision whether or not this is something that you want to spend your money on. Okay, so at the end of the day, Chanel earrings, these particular type of Chanel earrings are costume jewelry, and you are definitely 100% paying for the name, because the difference between these type of costume jewelry earrings and their fine jewelry line is thousands of dollars. Their fine jewelry is exquisite, 18 karat gold, diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and obviously these do not have that. They have faux pearls. I think these are leather. I'm not too sure. I'm going to bring them up as much as I can without them kind of, washing out the camera. And then these are all Strass crystals here. You have to be careful with costume jewelry because it has a tendency that it can tarnish, and I try to be very careful with them. I try not to have any type of water, come in contact with them. I don't wear them when I'm showering. Obviously, I don't wear them when I go to sleep. I take them out. So I'm very careful with them, but they can tarnish in the future, or depending upon, the type of atmosphere, I guess, that you have them in, they can do that, because costume jewelry, even if it's great high quality costume jewelry, it still can have, those tarnish stains come up, or it can have some type of issue come up. So it is costume jewelry, and you are paying for the brand. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that they're made out of, the strongest metal in the world and there's nothing like it. I'm not going to say that, but like I said, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I got to be honest. There's something that I wanted to discuss in depth, and that is the Strass crystal fallout on the stud earrings. And I am a huge fan of the stud earrings. You guys know that, whether you get the small ones or the larger ones, I think that they go with any type of outfit and any type of setting. And let's be honest, if they're sparkly and they're shiny, I'm attracted to them. But they did have a lot of issues with the crystals falling out in the past. And since then, Chanel has actually revamped the adhesive that they use for these, so that way they don't have as much of an issue, but they can't guarantee anything because there's still, you know, a chance that that could happen. Again, I am very, very careful with my items, and I have used these quite a bit, but I'm going to see if I can bring them up as much as possible so you guys can see them. I don't know if it's focusing, probably not, but I have 10 stones missing on this pair, and there's supposed to be a total of 40 stones on here. So I'm missing 1/4 of them, you know, and like I said, I did use them quite a bit, but again, I'm very, very careful. I make sure not to use them when I'm showering, you know, or when I go to bed or anything like that. But I was a little disappointed to see that I had that many stones missing. I think anybody would be disappointed to know that they're not holding up as well, even though you're very, very careful with them. And, you know, let's be honest, I don't want to be too fussy when it comes to stud earrings or any type of earrings. I just want to put them in, and I really don't want to have to worry about them as much. You know, that's why the fine jewelry is always a better option, because you don't have to worry with the fine jewelry. You don't have to worry with the precious stones or the semi-precious stones that they have, kind of like you would with Strass crystals or with brass or any other type of material. I think I called to find out how much it would be to fix, to get the stones put back in, and I could be wrong. It's been a little bit, but I think it was $85 in 8 weeks for them to be brought back to, you know, back to life. And I thought that was a little pricey, you know, and especially since I think my hubby paid $325 for the earrings. So that's relatively 1/3 of the price, and I'm missing 1/4 of the stones. So for me, I just figured, you know what, I'm not going to fix them. I'm just going to leave them alone and just kind of just sport them the way that they are, really. You know, I didn't want to have to pay that much or be without them for that long. And also, there's a lot of things that go into giving you a quote. You know, there's a lot of things that they take into consideration. The size of the earrings, the style of the earrings, you know, the type of details, the type of hardware, and things like that. So, you know, I think that the smaller ones, like I said, I was quoted $85. And the larger ones, I'm assuming, are going to be a little bit more expensive. But it's all a case-by-case scenario. And also, some of the sales associates, I don't think it's going to be universal either. And what I mean by that is that some sales associates will take care of you, and they'll just take it in, you know, and they'll say the repair is either going to be free or we'll end up exchanging them. So it all depends upon if it's normal wear and tear, or if it's a defect, then I think that they'll end up giving you a new pair. But again, it's all a matter of how I really think a lot of it has to do with the type of relationship that you have with the sales associate. But for the most part, they do end up taking them in for repair. And that's something else that I wanted to discuss. We all know that there are Chanel boutiques, or Chanel boutiques inside of department stores, kind of like Neiman's and Saks Fifth Avenue. And I was told by one of my essays that if you were to purchase the Chanel earrings inside of a Neiman's, if you go to get them repaired, they have to go back to Neiman's. They can't go back to the boutique. And if you purchase them at the boutique, they have to go back there. But my associate, you know, we have a great relationship. She said that even though these are from Neiman's, that she can take them into the boutique. So again, a lot of it has to do with the relationship. But for the most part, they tell people that if you got them at the department store, it has to go back to the department store, and you know, and vice versa. But I really do, again, even though I know that they were a little pricey, I just figured, as I said before, I'm just going to leave them like that. I don't even care, you know, and these will kind of be the ones that I wear out and about when I'm not trying to get all dressed up or anything like that, you know. So let's discuss this a little bit. Are they worth it? Everything points to no. No, they're not worth it because of how many issues they have, because of how much wear they can have in the end. I guess some people might think I'm a little silly, because they are worth it to me. And as I told you, even though this was my first pair and I haven't had the best luck with them, and in the beginning they were great, they were wearing perfectly, and I feel like within the last 6 months, they really just shot down, you know, but even though this was my first pair, and even though I know they have all these issues, I still keep going back. So that's why I say some people might think I'm silly. Some people might call me, you know, a little ridiculous, because they are expensive. They are definitely pricey to repair. if the boutique doesn't end up taking care of it or exchanging it or what have you. But I really like them. I don't know. There's something about them. And like I told you guys earlier, when I go into the boutique, I always ask to see the studs. I always ask to see the earrings because I love the different designs that they have. And even though I have mostly studs here, they're all relatively different except for these two, even though they're a little bit kind of the same, even though these are brushed gold and these are the silver hardware, but there's still a little bit of a difference on them, and that's why I like them. But at the end of the day, it's all about what you think. Do you think that these are worth it with all of the issues that I brought up and kind of the things that I have noticed with this particular pair? Is it something that you want to spend your money on? Because they are pricey themselves. I think, these, the largest ones, I can't remember how much I paid. They were either $5.75 or $6.25. I'm not too sure. And then you add tax on top of that. That's pricey for earrings that might have, a little bit of a fallout. And I know some of you guys that ended up purchasing these told me that the little faux pearls were popping out as well. So even though these are relatively newer than these, they still have that issue with the fallout, and I really wish that they had the type of casing on the stones that kind of ensures that they're kind of grasped on, if that makes any sense, instead of glued on with the adhesive, because the adhesive can always wear out, but I'm a huge fan. I love them, and to me they're worth it. I'm a little bit more careful as to which ones I add to my collection, and if you don't want to have any issues with the fallout, if you don't want to have anything like that, then you can always go for ones that don't have any crystals on them or don't have any enamel that might end up chipping. It's all a matter of personal preference, and you have to know in the back of your mind that they have a tendency to tarnish. They have a tendency to lose stones. And if you're okay with that and, you don't mind, and you're kind of like me that if they end up kind of popping out that you're not going to fix them, then go for it. But it is definitely something to think about. And that's why I say I can't really say yes or no if they're worth it, because obviously I know that they have issues and I know that I have fallout, but I still keep going back. So that's just me. At the end of the day, is it worth it to you? Hope this video was able to help you guys out. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the recommendation. And I will see you all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.